Assalamualaikum. Okay, today we go for chapter 4, basic requirement for analysis. Alright, so for the first part, it's about sampling, technique sampling solid, liquid, and gas, sample storage, sample resolution, which include dry, etching, and wet digestion method, and elimination of interference. Okay, for sampling means that to obtain the sample. Okay, so the accurate or reliability of result depends on proper collection of sample, okay, or sampling, and then the transportation of sample from site to lab, and then the proper selection of lab sample. Okay, so sampling is actually the act of collecting sample to produce meaningful information. Okay, the important thing is two important thing. Okay, for sampling means that we have to obtain the sample which are representative and homogeneous. Okay, representative means that the sample will represent the content of the whole sample. Okay, for the homogeneous means that the sample must have the same content throughout the sample. Okay, contohnya you nak ambil sampel water, okay, from river. So sampel yang kita ambil tu mestilah representative and homogeneous. Okay, representative tu mewakili keseluruhan sampel. Contohnya nak ambil river tu dalam berapa panjang river tu, contohnya have a certain length, okay, certain length, and then kita nak ambil sampel tu certain length, contohnya 3 meter you ambil sampel, 1 meter awak ambil sampel tu setiap meter. So mewakili keseluruhan sampel lah daripada berapa length yang panjang tadi. Okay, homogeneous pula mestilah sampel tu mestilah homogeneous. So kalau liquid sample kalau tak homogeneous, kita kena make sure dia homogeneous lah. Biasanya kalau solid dia heterogeneous, so we will make sure the sample is homogeneous. Okay, if liquid if not homogeneous, so must do a step lah to form homogeneous sample. Okay, so purpose of sampling is to obtain a representative sample of the whole sample that can be taken into laboratory for analysis, and the result obtained will be accurate. Okay, so okay, to obtain sample, maksudnya kita nak study tu, you kena tentukanlah population dia apa, and then narrow down your scope, nak ambil sampel apa. Okay, so the classification of analysis, if meso weight more than 100 milligram, okay, if sample volume more than 100 microliter, okay, semi micro slightly small, micro and ultra micro less than 1 milligram, and then constituent in a sample, if major more than 1%. Okay, contohnya dalam sampel tu you nak study apa, ada content water hardness, so contohnya ada kalsium berapa persen. If more than 1% in that sample, so we categorize as major. Okay, if minor 0.1 until 1%, trace less than 0.1%. Ultra trace very small concentration in range of part per million or less. Okay, this one you learn in chapter 1. Okay, for the concentration, right? Okay, and then next, for sampling, okay, we have to consider or depends on the size of the bulk to be sampled. Okay, contohnya you nak contohnya dalam kawasan berapa meter square, size meter square tu berapa. Okay, ataupun macam kalau nak ambil air terjun tu berapa ketinggian mana, altitude banyak mana, macam tu. Okay, physical state of the sample such as solid, liquid or gas, and then the properties of sample. Okay, so masa dekat site, okay, nak ambil sampel kat luar lah ni. Okay, contoh nak ambil sampel soil ke, sampel water or anything else. Okay, kita kena ambil representative sample tadi lah. That sample and then the representative sample, okay, reduced to gross sample. Okay, gross sample tu several portion of the sample. Yang first tadi kita ambil representative sample, contohnya kawasan meter square tu berapa darab berapa, so kita ambil ada kiraan lah berapa, yang itu representative sample. And then gross sample, small portion of that sample. Okay, yang ni ada teknik, lepas ni kita tengok. And then that gross sample reduced to lab sample. Okay, so the small size lah lab sample ni. So yang lab sample ni we believe, okay, after process tadi, representative and homogeneous. Okay, so in clinical lab, gross sample is used as lab sample. Okay, so maksudnya contoh blood or urine, kan kita ambil sampel blood atau sampel urine tu, yang itulah kita bawa masuk analisis kan, so dia teruslah gross sample tu lab sample lah for clinical sample. Okay, this one like I mentioned just now, identify the population and then collect gross sample and then reduce gross sample to lab sample. Okay, so sample must be representative and homogeneous. Alright, for sampling solid. Okay, now we go to sampling solid. Because solid is heterogeneous, contoh nak ambil sampel soil, sampel soil solid, so kita nak ambil soil ada bercampur dengan batu ke apa, so kena remove lah that part. Okay, to make sure form as homogeneous sample. Okay, so grab sample must reduce to gross and lab sample like before slide. Okay, slide before. Okay, sampling solid, the method is coning and quartering method. Okay, so for coning and quartering method, you can refer to video for sampling solid. Okay, cone and quartering method. So kita gunakan method ini untuk produce sample, lab sample that are homogeneous and representative. So what is the step? Okay, divide a pile into material into quarter and then take sample. Okay, take sample from each quarter of the pile and crush the sample and form into a smaller conical pile. Okay, and then flatten the conical pile, cut into quarter. Okay, divide two and then two opposite quarter are chosen at random. Okay, dua ni kita pilih, kumpulkan balik and then crush the quarter further. And then the whole step are repeated until lab sample obtained. Okay, so dapatlah yang sample tadi, and then repeat balik step ni. Okay, kita ambil sample and then crush, form cone, and then flatten it, cut into quarter again, take two opposite chosen at random, crush sampai kita dapat small sample. So that one is lab sample. Okay, baru buat analisis yang seterusnya. This one just the apparatus. Okay, for liquid, okay, usually sample for liquid are homogeneous. Okay, if not homogeneous, you have to shake and sample immediately. Okay, so make sure homogeneous. For liquid, depends on large volume liquid, large stationary liquid, lake or river, and biological fluid. So for biological fluid, the timing is important, okay, because the composition of blood will change before and after meal. So dia ada certain time lah. Alright. Okay. Untuk lake, river, okay, macam ni. So dia punya teknik, kita ambil sampel collect at surface, middle and bottom. Surface, middle and bottom part. Okay, ada tiga bahagian. For gas tend to be homogeneous sample. Alright. Okay, so three method use: high volume sampler or air analysis method. So dia ada filter. So bila sample gas lalu, dia will collect and then we can analyze that sample. Second, liquid displacement method. Okay, the sample has little solubility in liquid and does not react with liquid. So kita boleh ambil lah sampel gas tu, right? And then bersample, the subject could blow into evacuated bag. Kalau yang untuk alkohol, dia terus ada alat lah untuk take that sample. Okay. So untuk sampling gas, nak ambil sampel tu macam mana, dia ada dua teknik. First, grab sampling. Second, continuous or integrated sampling. Grab sampling ni one off, maksudnya kita sekali ambil lah. Okay, an actual sample of air is taken into a suitable container. If continuous sampling, so gas removed from the air, okay, will pass through the solid or liquid solvent. Contohnya kita nak ambil sampel air untuk nak tahu quality of air, jerebu contohnya. So there is certain time lah kita dah set. Okay. So solvent tu gas tu akan pass through the solvent, and then we can analyze the sample gas. Okay, sample storage yang penting, yang like acidic liquid should be stored in glass container. Okay, while basic in plastic container. Okay, kalau liquid sample kena letak dalam bottle with stopper. Alright.